Welcome to the first episode of Coffee Time Doodles. Pick up a hot drink, relax, and enjoy. Today being the first episode, I'd like to talk about a topic that I care about and that is being the subject of discussion lately because of the new Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix. Let's talk about the Batman and the Joker together in one video. From an outside perspective, these two weirdos seem to have a very traditional comic book hero and villain rivalry. But any Batman fan knows that their relationship is a lot deeper than just a battle of good versus evil. I always loved Batman since I was a little kid, but I don't know if I always had a good reason for it except that he's a freaking bat ninja with a cape. I mean, even back then he was a pretty dark character, and his spirit animal being a bat, a creepy creature that goes out at night to feed on its prey, that's pretty dark and badass. I'm one of those people who have a strange obsession with dark things, scary movies, supernatural topics, even if I'm a skeptic. A good guy with a dark side always have caught my interest a lot more than an all-good hero like Captain America, for example. It's the same reason why I and a lot of people like the Wolverine on the Marvel side. Broken men with a lot of issues that just choose to be good even if they have the same upbringing as the villains. But can we talk about how Batman is just a normal human with no superpowers and somehow has the courage to go out and take the responsibility of a superhero? I love that this fact alone makes the Batman one of the most remarkable heroes, because this makes his achievements a lot more impressive than anyone born with supernatural capacities. But how does he survive if he's just a normal guy in a suit? Well, alright, he's not actually just a normal guy. Batman has a tool that most superpowered people don't have. The big brains. He is an actual genius. He is the best detective in the world. You know how we expect the machines to easily take out the human race once they become self-aware and free? Even though we technically would have the number advantage and weapons of mass destruction? You realistically can't beat a being who's a lot more intelligent than you. They know how to abuse your weaknesses and work around your strengths. They are also aware of their own weaknesses and will avoid a face-to-face encounter if the outcome is not in their favor, for example. That's what I love the most from the Justice League TV series, with the Batman voiced by Kevin Conroy, the best Batman voice actor by the way. They portrayed Batman as the genius of the group. He was incredibly important to the team despite his physical abilities being a lot more limited than anyone else on the team. He is always the first person on the scene when a crisis happens, and he is the man with a plan. He understands and utilizes the strengths of his team members. There's a story where Superman gets mind controlled by Poison Ivy. Who's the only one to stop him from destroying the world? Yours truly, Mr. Bats. He had insurance, a kryptonite ring that Clark gave him in case something like this would happen. On a fun side note, apparently Batman and Superman fought each other about 16 times throughout the comics. Batman actually won a couple of those encounters. Of course, thanks to kryptonite or special armor and his big brain plans. Here's a Batman quote from this same comic. If Clark wanted to, he could use his super speed and squish me into the cement. But I know how he thinks. Even more than the kryptonite. He's got one big weakness. Deep down, Clark's essentially a good person. And deep down, I'm not. So Batman thinks he's a bad person. On this thought, that's a whole other story about his brain. He's very unstable. He's pretty twisted, just like his archenemy. I mean, he watched his parents get murdered when he was a kid, so that's that. He really grows up to be pretty messed up in the head and is the kind of guy who beats scumbags in Gotham's alleys at night to fight insomnia. Batman has said several times that he worries that if he kills the Joker, he's gonna keep on killing the bad guys. He's afraid to lose control and needs a code to prevent himself from succumbing to the darkness. At least he's aware of his bad craziness. This leads me to my favorite portion of the topic, the perfect harmony of the Batman and the Joker. The two sides of a coin. You know there's a little darkness in that bat-crazy billionaire, and there's a lot of brilliance in the Joker's brain required to be Batman's rival. I love the contrasting aspects of Batman and Joker, such as the Joker's very colorful attire, his loud mannerism and laughs, while Mr. Bats is all about darkness and grunts. They are the yin and yang. They are very connected and obsessed with each other. They're both mentally unstable, and both were birthed from tragedy. They both dress up in alter egos. They both have a lot of toys, but Batman fights on the good side. Here's a quote from the Joker in The Dark Knight. "You truly are incorruptible, aren't you? Huh? You won't kill me out of some misplaced sense of self-righteousness, and I won't kill you because you're just too much fun. I think you and I are destined to do this forever." And from the same movie, Batman says, "Why do you want to kill me?" The Joker laughs and responds, "Kill you? I don't want to kill you. What would I do without you? Go back to ripping off mob dealers? No. You complete me." I don't think they can exist without each other, and that's pretty poetic. A lot of fans say that the Joker sees Bruce Wayne as a mask for Batman. He's more himself with the mask on than without. The Joker's main weapon against Batman is cornering him into making impossible decisions, such as having him choose to save someone while ultimately letting someone else die, or trying to force Batman to kill, which we all know is against his code. There's just something exciting and almost bromantic about what their existence means to each other. I remember people saying that there would be no supervillains in Gotham if there was no Batman. That's an interesting concept, as if he's so impactful for Gotham's well-being that the criminal world needed to step up to his level. I'm going to end this episode with an interesting quote that Batman said to a defeated Joker in The Killing Joke. It demonstrates the uniqueness of their relationship. He says, "I don't know what it was that bent your life out of shape, but maybe I've been there too. Maybe we could work together. I could rehabilitate you. You don't need to be alone. We don't have to kill each other. Let me help you." And the Joker famously replies, "I'm sorry, but no. No, it's far too late for that." And then he goes on telling a joke to Batman. He says, "You know, it's funny. This reminds me of a joke. See, there were two guys locked in a lunatic asylum, and one night they decided that they didn't like that anymore. They decided to escape. So they made it up to the roof, and there, just across the narrow gap, they see rooftops, stretching across town, stretching to freedom. Now the first guy, he jumps across no problem. But his friend, no way, he's afraid of falling. So the first guy, he has an idea. He says, 'Hey, I got this flashlight with me. I'll shine it across the gap between the buildings so you can walk across the beam and join me.' But the second guy says, 'What do you think I am, crazy? You'll just turn it off when I'm halfway across.' And then the Joker starts laughing. Batman chuckles. And then starts laughing. Louder and louder. He puts his arm on Joker's shoulder and then they both laugh together. So that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this little moment with me. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel and I'll see you next week.